So we've got the black and white, the sepia filter, the cartoon effect, maybe the aged film effect. Oh man, it's like a gimmick orgy. I'm joygasming just thinking about it. Oh, hey. Don't mind him, he's just in prep mode for Gimmick Palooza this Sunday. See, we've never done this many gimmicks in one video before, so this one's gonna need a lot of pre-production. And to be honest, I'm kind of scared shitless about where this is all going. I don't know if I'm gonna survive that many gimmicks all at once. It's gonna be like a freaking gimmick tidal wave. There has to be a way out of this, there has to be! There isn't. There's no way out. Now quit your bitching and get on with the review. Alright. Go home show before final resolution. Compared to the shows they've been putting out lately, this actually wasn't too bad. Definitely a step up from what we've seen recently. I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that Hogan and Bischoff were not on the show for a change. I hope those guys are in court with Dixie for a long time, because it's no coincidence that Impact is better when they're not on it. When they are on the show, they eat up a lot of screen time. When they're gone, that screen time is free to be given to, you know, useful things. Pay-per-view hype, for example. And this Impact wasn't perfect by any means, but with Hogan and Bischoff gone, it was probably the best go-home show they've had in the last 3 months. They actually announced the entire pay-per-view card. That alone makes it a better go-home show than the one before Bound for Glory. And they had enough time available that I think every match on the pay-per-view got hyped in some way. I'm not saying all the hype was good, but at least it was there. I like the stuff with Jay Lethal and Robbie, the fist pump challenge nonsense. Sure, it was stupid, but at least it was something to hype the X Division title match. Something is better than nothing. At least the X Division title match wasn't ignored like it is a lot of the time. And I think Jay Lethal managed to save that segment somewhat by not going along with the contest and just punching Robbie in the face. It was alright once they started fighting, but I have no idea what TNA management sees in Robbie. I really don't. I don't find him entertaining. I don't find him funny. He doesn't seem to be a particularly good worker. His mannerisms are really cartoonish, and generally he's just a big spaz. That's all the guy is. He's a big freaking spaz who gets X-Pac heat. Hopefully his push won't last much longer. Then there was the way they started the show this week. With a wrestling match. I like that. The problem is the match was already in progress when the show started, so we missed a good chunk of it. And that bugged me because it was a good match. I wanted to see the whole thing. But they hyped the Motor City Gen Me match, then those guys fought to the back, and then they set up Beer Money Inc. I really don't think that match needs to be on the pay-per-view, though. I mean, they already had 8 matches, and every time they try to do 9, at least one of them ends up being too short. I mean, if you want to have those teams fight for the #1 contendership, do it on Impact next week. I mean, it's just a formality anyway. We all know Beer Money are going to win that thing. But if they want to add another match to this card, they could, and have done a lot worse than this one, I guess. The match was good, but something that bugged me was the stuff with the referee afterward overshadowed everything else. Aside from the fact that he's Eric Bischoff's son, I don't know why referee Jackson James is being pushed so hard. But if he's turning heel at Final Resolution, they're making it pretty damn obvious. I mean, they'll probably have Anderson get taken out during the main event, and then here comes Jackson James, the referee, who refuses to back down to Immortal. He's gonna do the right thing and count 3 for Morgan, and then bam, heel turn. I don't know for sure if it's gonna happen, but if it is, there's no way it's gonna be a surprise, because they're teasing it way too much. Man, I would really prefer they just keep Anderson in there the whole time. I mean, how often do you have to go to the well with the overbooking of the referee? My god, it's so played out. Speaking of Anderson, I thought he had a pretty decent return. Wasn't crazy about his promo, but the way they brought him back was good. But bringing him back on the same show meant Kurt Angle's return kind of fell flat. Of course, it didn't help that they cut away from him so damn fast. It was like, hey look, it's Kurt Angle, he's back! Quick, let's go to a Jeff Hardy promo! Don't cut away from that, stay on it! It's Kurt Angle! You always gotta cut away from stuff too damn fast. But anyway, just about everything on the pay-per-view was hyped in some way, shape, or form. Then there was the 3D segment. TNA does this constantly. There always seems to be something on the go-home show that just flat-out does not need to be there, and in fact, shouldn't be there. In my opinion, go-home shows should be 100% devoted to pay-per-view hype, especially if you've got 9 matches to build up. They did a decent job of hyping everything on the pay-per-view, but they could have done more if they'd cut this segment out. And it's not that it was a bad segment, the promos were really good, but neither of these guys are on the pay-per-view card. Give me one reason why this couldn't have been saved until next week. And what's more, I just don't care. I don't care about Bubba Ray and Devon feuding. I don't want to see it. These guys should have retired after Turning Point. That was the perfect way and the perfect time for them to go out. But now, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested in seeing this. I don't give a crap about veterans from a previous era facing each other anymore. The window on that has closed. And yes, that goes for Van Dam versus Rhino, too. The knockout stuff was pretty good for the most part, although the musical performance I had to kind of take issue with. All due respect to Mickey, who I am a fan of, but I hit the mute button during this segment. I have to hear that song every time Mickey makes her entrance. That's enough. No offense to Mickey. I still love Mickey, but I am not now, nor will I ever be hardcore country. That being said, that skimpy little dress she was wearing was sexy as hell. Damn. When Tara came out and they went at it again, that was cool. I enjoyed Mickey's wardrobe malfunction. I think that rivalry has been built up nicely, and I expect them to have a good match this Sunday. Hopefully Mickey will win this time. The physicality between these two has been great, but I don't think there's any more story being told at this point. Mostly it's just them brawling all over the place. Not that it's been bad, but it's starting to feel a little redundant. I think it's time to end this feud and give Mickey her title shot. Not sure how Sarita is going to factor into that, though. She's been going over everybody lately, and she's pretty much embarrassed Madison Rayne for the last 2 weeks. Maybe they want to add her to the match, make it a triple threat for the title at Genesis. That'd be cool with me. It'd make the match a lot better if she's in it. And I don't see Mickey versus Madison one-on-one being anything special, because I don't think Madison Rayne is anything special. I just don't. I'm sorry, but whatever X Factor TNA think Madison Rayne has, she doesn't have it. She's good. She's not great. For a big show like Genesis, they need someone great. But that's for next month. And you know, I'm not ready to give them too much credit on this just yet, but generally, I like what I've been seeing from the Knockouts lately. Let's be honest, the Knockout division has been really bad this year. And they lost a lot of talent. Kong, Roxy, Alyssa Flash, Tracy Brooks, ODB. They were pushing all the wrong people, but ever since Mickey showed up, it's improved a lot. You know, they're finally putting some attention on it again. There's more storylines. The matches have been better. Lacey's gone. Thank God. They're starting to rebuild the roster with new talent, Mickey, Winter, possibly Christina Von Eerie, and Jen Blake. I'm really hoping for Jen Blake. I don't know if they're going to sign her or not, but I know her tryout went really well, so I'm crossing my fingers on that one. So I'm feeling cautiously optimistic about the Knockouts right now. It's nice to see TNA going in a positive direction with them for a change. Hopefully that will continue. As for Final Resolution this Sunday, on this pay-per-view, they have a casket match, a Falls Count Anywhere match, a First Blood match, a submission match, a Full Metal Mayhem match, and the coup de grace, a cookie in a cage suspended above the ring match. You guys know what this one makes me go through when TNA does a gimmick match. For the life of me, I don't know how I'm going to get through this video. I might not survive it. But since I'm fucking powerless in this situation, since there doesn't seem to be any way I can get out of it, I guess the only thing I can do is sit back, take my medicine, and if I lock myself in here until after the pay-per-view, he can't make me review it. You guys call for help. I'm gonna barricade the door.
Open the door, you little fish!